Begone.
Hello everyone. My name is Austin Maize and this speech is entitled The Affordable Care Act, Helping or Hurting. Since its inauguration on March 23, 2016, the Affordable Care Act has had several major impacts on the state of our nation's healthcare. For the first time ever, the uninsured rate in the United States dropped below 10%, with over 20 million Americans receiving health insurance. The Affordable Care Act has instituted several changes in the healthcare insurance industry, and these changes affect many of us every day. So what exactly are these changes? Children may be claimed as dependents for insurance purposes until the age of 26. This greatly benefits young adults, especially those who are trying to afford the tuitions of college. Individuals with pre-existing conditions cannot be denied insurance due to their pre-existing ailments, and ultimately, more Americans than ever have health insurance. However, health insurance premiums and the cost of health care are increasing into unheard of territory, inciting fear for many taxpayers. Not to mention, businesses are being required to offer comprehensive insurance for employees, which can be extremely costly. Throughout my speech, I will be discussing with you all the benefits and drawbacks of the Affordable Care Act, beginning with its benefits. The most glaring benefit of the Affordable Care Act is that more Americans now have health insurance than ever before. The uninsured rate in the United States has dropped below 10% for the first time in history. One group of Americans who have contributed to the rise in individuals with health care is individuals with pre-existing medical conditions. For years, individuals with pre-existing medical conditions were denied health insurance due to the fact that those individuals are expensive to cover. A pre-existing condition can mean anything from the following, including cancer, pregnancy, heart disease, sleep apnea, and even mental disorders. In his August 19, 2016 article, Why Pre-Existing Conditions Matter to Millions, Wendell Potter writes about a congressional investigation into several insurance companies, saying, the congressional investigation was limited to 4 insurers and covered only a 3-year period, 2007 to 2009. It found that just 4 companies had denied coverage to 651,000 people, one of every 7 who applied, because of pre-existing conditions. It is also found that the rate of denials was increasing at the companies every year. However, the Affordable Care Act has eliminated the ability of insurance companies to deny people with pre-existing conditions health insurance coverage. Additionally, children may be covered by their parents' health insurance plans until the age of 26. With most of college tuitions consistently rising, saving money that would be spent on health insurance can greatly benefit young Americans financially. Although we see these benefits of the Affordable Care Act, there are also several drawbacks. The Affordable Care Act has actually been anything but that. Health insurance plans are required to be more comprehensive than ever before and have set as required minimums that must be provided in the insurance policies. However, with more coverage comes more cost for insurance companies, thus propelling the inevitable rise in premiums. The rise in premiums has also been in part to the fact that insurance companies do, in fact, now have to cover individuals with pre-existing conditions. These individuals are extremely expensive to insure, especially those with chronic or recurring conditions. Additionally, the Affordable Care Act has helped strangle the middle class due to businesses being required to provide health insurance for full-time employees, a topic I will discuss later. Excessive taxes are being levied against the middle class. Dr. Robert E. Moffat, in his April 1, 2016 article, Year 6 of the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare's Mounting Problems, says it best. This so-called Cadillac tax, the 40% excise tax on high-value health plans in excess of $10,200 for single coverage or $27,500 for family coverage, is also in effect a tax on the middle class. The vast majority of Americans affected by the tax, mostly those working for large corporations, have annual incomes of less than $200,000. This tax is extremely detrimental and takes a large portion of the annual income of those receiving high-value health plans from their employers. For the businesses, providing these health plans can also be extremely costly and discourages company growth. The Affordable Care Act is strangling businesses by requiring them to offer comprehensive health insurance for full-time employees. This has led to businesses limiting the number of hours that employees work to avoid having to offer comprehensive insurance due to its high cost. Although companies with less than 50 employees are exempt, the Affordable Care Act discourages growth beyond such a point for small companies due to tax penalties for refusing to provide insurance. In essence, the Affordable Care Act is stunting growth of small businesses all over the country while costing a fortune to large corporations. Devin M. Herrick, in his June 16, 2014 article titled "The Effects of the Affordable Care Act on Small Business," writes, "Firms that employ 50 or more workers and don't provide health insurance will be subject to a tax penalty of $2,000 for each uninsured employee beyond the first 30. Furthermore, firms with 50 or more workers will be required to contribute at least 60% of the cost for individual minimum essential. Many businesses cannot sustain these new expenses and will suffer due to the expensive price of insurance for employee or penalties for not providing insurance." In summary, the Affordable Care Act is the reason that more Americans have health insurance than ever before. Young Americans everywhere have benefited from staying on their parents' health insurance policies until the age of 26, and individuals with pre-existing conditions cannot be denied coverage. However, it has propelled monthly premiums upwards, creating massive taxes on the middle class, and discouraged growth of small businesses. With the information I've just given you, I hope that you all now have a greater understanding of the Affordable Care Act and the impact it can have on your daily lives. Thank you.